Welcome to my review of Lech coaster, the Vekoma Bermuda Blitz coaster at Legendia. This is one of the best coasters I've ever ridden, and I'll explain why. Lech coaster opened in 2017 as Legendia's headlining attraction, and it's one of the first next-generation Vekoma coasters. With a height of 40 meters, a top speed of 95 km an hour, and a track length of 908 meters, as well as 3 inversions, the ride has quite impressive stats, but it's nothing record-breaking. The most unique things about the ride are the theme and the beyond vertical twisted drop. Let's waste no time and talk about why this ride is a masterpiece. I'll go through the entire ride experience, so I'll start with the ride's appearance and themed area. When you are entering the park and walk through the entrance area, the first thing you will see looking over the park's lake is Lech coaster. The compact layout looks stunning next to the lake, and it already starts building up the hype. After walking around the lake, you are entering the section of the park with Lech coaster, and that area has really good medieval theming. The coaster dominates the area and it looks stunning. As a bonus, you are right next to the water, which is really impressive, and some parts of the ride are even located right above the water. Let's come to the queue line now. The queue is themed to a medieval town or castle, and it's quite well made. The outside section of the queue is quite long, but if the wait is short you can skip most of the queue. The inside part features an epic pre-show, and even if you don't speak Polish, it still adds to the hype. Then there's a staircase leading right into the station. The station is really cool, as one of the ride's inversions leads right through it, and that is just great. A few more things before coming to the actual ride. There is no assigned seating, so you can choose where you want to sit. The coaster has vest restraints, and these are just great. They are really comfortable, and the best thing, they don't get tighter during the ride, and they can actually also move upwards quite a bit, so if there is airtime, you are getting all of it. But let's come to the actual ride now. After a right turn out of the station alongside some buildings, you are already on the ride's lift hill, which is quite steep. The lift gets you up to the peak quite fast, and the view from the top is fantastic. You can see all of the park and the lake, as well as some parts of Katowice, the city where Legendia is located in. And then the ride starts. The beyond vertical drop is amazing. In the front row you can't see where you're going, there is just water in front of you. And in the back row you get good airtime, as well as really good whip in the drop's twist. Right after the great drop, there is a tunnel, followed by a reverse sidewinder. In the tunnel, the ride sort of switches on its intensity. And then the reverse sidewinder lets most people grey out. Following that inversion, there is a crazy intense turn, making even more people grey or even black out. Immediately after that there is a twisted airtime hill, which gives some fantastic ejector airtime. Oh, did I mention that so far all of the ride's elements are situated above the water? Yeah, it's awesome. After that hill, there's another really powerful turn above the water, leading into a camelback. That hill gives some sustained ejector airtime, though I must say it could be quite a bit stronger. From there on, the ride is no longer above the water for the most part. Next up is the scenic roll through the station, and that is quite whippy, but it's one of the weaker elements the ride has to offer. But then there is the overbank, and that overbank is great. Entering the turn, a fake tree provides a great headshopper moment, and the turn is just really intense, a spot where some people would grey out again. After the turn, there is another really powerful turn around the station, leading into what I consider the best element of the ride, the twisted bunny hop. There is so much so great about that phenomenal small hill. First of all, it's unexpected. You can't see that hill until you are really there, because of the turn coming right before it. And the airtime, I gotta say, is perfect ejector. Sure, it's not that sustained, but it's strong. It is really, really freaking strong. And some might say, super strong airtime with vest restraints, and I gotta say, yes, that is possible. There have been a lot of phenomenal elements earlier during the ride, but that hill is even crazier. After the twisted bunny hop, the final inversion, a corkscrew, follows. That thing is really intense again, and it's super fun, especially because the ride is now above the water one more time. The final section of the ride consists of some helixes, a banked hill, and one more great twisted bunny hop. Then the ride hits the brakes and it's over. After getting off the ride, there are some stairs leading down to the ride shop and the exit. That does sum up the ride experience, but there are a few more general things I gotta talk about. The smoothness. Lech coaster is a really smooth coaster. There is a slight rattle, but that is hardly noticeable. The operations. I can't really say much about that, because the coaster was pretty much a walk-on all day. The best ride experience. If you want the best ride experience, you gotta ride this coaster in the afternoon, or even try to get a night ride like I did. In the morning, the ride is not warmed up, so it's not that good at that time. What is the best row? Lech coaster is fantastic in pretty much every row. The front and the back are equal in ride quality, and those are of course the best rows. Finally, let's conclude the review with my night ride experience. As I mentioned earlier, I did get one night ride, and that was fantastic. While the queue at nighttime got really long, it's just the best experience you can have. There is hardly any lighting outside the station and the queue line, so it's quite dark. But with the ride having warmed up as much as it can't get any better than that. Lech coaster is truly a perfect roller coaster, and it's of course getting a 10+. It's just that good. It's the second most intense roller coaster I've ridden, and I love it. With a total of 17 rides, I got to experience it in many different ways. Vekoma is no longer the manufacturer of bad coasters like the SLCs. They are now building world-class attractions. World-class attractions like Lech coaster. And that was my review of Lech coaster. Have you been able to ride this absolute masterpiece? Do you have any questions about the ride? Thanks for watching. Bye.